Hey, yo, shout out to my boy Saints fan. That shit says GTA 6's water physics reportedly cost $300 million. Bro, there's no way. Nah. I don't even want to believe that. I gotta watch this. This is...
So there is a new GTA 6 leak
stating
that Rockstar has spent $200 to $300 million just on making the greatest water.
Bro, there's no way.
That's the new rumor. In addition to some other things water related.
What? Probably underwater and everything too.
Video. So here is the, I guess, source.
VGT.
Person who tweeted this. Grand Theft Auto 6 will reportedly feature the most realistic water physics ever seen in a video game. I mean, that right there.
I agree with that.
Reasonable, I think, to expect from Rockstar.
Yeah.
What we've seen. The next point, Rockstar Games has assembled a team of 20 top engineers exclusively dedicated to water physics modeling. Okay.
That's insane. A team strictly focused on water. That's fire, bro. Y'all know they got thousands of employees, so that's crazy. That's insane. Like, that's pretty cool, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, again, I think that's maybe a reasonable
thing
for Rockstar to do, given how much money they've put into this game, how much money they've made in the last game. Like, all right, making a team of 20 just for water physics. All right, checks out. The third point is where it gets a little crazy, I think. The budget for this endeavor is reportedly between $200 and $300 million.
I don't believe that, bro. There's no way, bro. What? If that's true, that would be insane. Y'all know how much money that is? 200 to 300 million. That's whole movies, bro. That's whole movies, bro. More than a lot of whole movies. Like that shit is crazy. That's like big giant movies. You know what I'm saying? Big giant games and shit like that. There's no way in hell they doing that strictly for water. I don't know. Maybe.
According to reliable.
Maybe.
Now, I will say, allegedly, the total development cost of GTA 6 is about what?
$2 billion.
That's what the number
billion.
That's been reported over the last couple of years. Even though I think this number is quite high, 200 and 300 million.
That's not.
It's not crazy to think that Rockstar would budget a decent chunk of that $2 billion just for water physics, and I'll get to why. But again, maybe this might be a little bit too much. I'm not sure. Then the final point, the final little leak here. The game will include surfing as well as hurricanes and floods. For the first time in an open world game, high and low tides will be dynamic. And
listen. 300 billion, I mean, that's a lot of money, but do I think they're not strictly talking about the sea? You know, they're not strictly talking about you know, the ocean and everything. There's water on land as well. You know? I think it's just liquid in general. Like, even with the bottle physics, with how the liquid is moving inside of the bottle, inside of the beer bottles and stuff like that, drinks and everything. So I don't think it's just strictly water, but yeah, the water it's not just the water on in the ocean. It's water on land, storming and things of that nature, floods and stuff like that too. So, maybe the way the water affects certain things. So I don't think it's just strictly the way water flows and looks. You know what I'm saying? In the ocean. So
this is the one that I think a lot of people are going to see and say, that sounds fake, because it sounds too good to
this is crazy.
And maybe that's the case. We have already touched on hurricanes and flooding and how some of the screenshots and the trailers over the last year or so that Rockstar put out.
Charles, facts.
Nothing super concrete, because it is some small stuff in the images and in the trailers and stuff.
That's just crazy.
There are some potential teases that will get flooding and maybe a hurricane in the game. Probably the hurricane, at least, as a specific mission, not something that would happen in free roam. The other one, he mentioned surfing. I mean, we haven't seen anything regarding surfing in any of the trailers, any of the leaks, any of the
I wouldn't be surprised.
Honestly, for me, that one is the least likely for us to see. I mean, it would be cool, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure if
it's not necessary.
Surfing is going to be in the game. That final one, though, high and low tides will be dynamic. Now, this is the one you might think is just crazy sounding. However, I want to actually point out this screenshot. And we're going to actually look at a couple of screenshots.
Yeah, the way the water's flowing, you can just tell.
This one right here
look at it.
Shows something that maybe indicates we will get a high and a low tide.
Right.
Zoom in to the pillars that all of these buildings are.
See the water's hitting certain pillars.
Section, obviously, at the bottom part, right above the water, that is a little darker than the rest of the pillar.
Look how high it is.
That part is wet.
Yep.
But we can clearly see the waves aren't super choppy, so it's not like they would be wet from waves or something, or water splashing. That could indicate the high and low tide.
High tide, low tide.
A thing in this game. The high tide will come in, it'll wet all of those concrete pillars, and then the tide will go down, and then you'll be able to see those pillars wet like we're seeing here. Like this obviously would be a lower tide. So honestly, the high and low tide thing, that kind of looks like it might be happening. Now, again, it's just a screenshot. We're not seeing this yet. This is speculation, but I don't know. There's some decent.
But still.
Maybe there is a high and low tide.
Like, listen, bro, if we get to experience like real floods and shit like that would be crazy because it's realistic. Florida's always storming and flooding and hurricanes and shit. Always, bro.
Scroll through some of these other
images. And damn, I got the itis. Hold up, I gotta give me some coffee or something. Hold up. It tastes incredible. Jesus. Barely put any creamer in it, though. I don't even like coffee.
Because this is one of the things I've seen a lot of people say, the 200 to 300 million number, that's too much just for water.
I mean,
but this game seemingly is going to have so much
more water than anything
around water.
That's true. That is very true. Yeah, because like I said, I don't think it's just the water itself. I think it's the physics around certain things that's involved in the water. You know what I'm saying? It's not just the water. It's the boats and people swimming and all type of shit that's gonna be going on inside of the water because we in Florida, bro. Most of the map is water. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a lot of activities within the water. So that's what I meant by that. And that coffee kicked my ass. I barely drink. I don't drink coffee. So
screenshots, even in the
I'm about to be hyped.
There's tons of NPCs and boats and other things on the water. So it seems like the water is going to be a very, very big deal.
Right.
Especially
underwater too.
Or in the Keys. Then, of course, we have a bunch of the swampy areas. I mean, you do have Mount Colossus
Very true.
Park, which has shown a couple of river shots. I think that was also the guy kayaking.
Yep.
Imagine kayaking would be a
sharks. Yep. Charles, facts.
And that would require some really good water physics. Also, in this screenshot, we have the flood gauge. So, again, flooding. Rockstar might be teasing it there.
Flooding's going to be in a game. Bro.
Obviously, there's going to be a bunch of stuff revolving around the water in the swamps. We can drive through it. We'll be able to maybe hunt, drive boats through it.
Yep.
There's even like the lakes. I mean, we've only seen, I think this part, the bottom left, that is Lake Leonida in the middle of the map. It's next to Ambrosia, the city.
Edward, facts.
But there's even, of course, going to be water, and that's partially swampy there.
Mm-hmm.
So this map, this GTA 6 game, is going to have a lot of water-based activities and a lot of land that has water incorporated around it or in
GTA 5 right here.
So just looking at all of that, it's not crazy to think that they would focus a heavy amount into the water physics of this game. And you do also have to remember that even if these numbers are true and they are spending $300 million to make the water physics the best they can ever be, it's not just for GTA 6. Like, they can use that for future games. So this is
very true.
Sort of an investment into the future of their game. So it's not just like they're spending $300
They'll already have the full foundation for it.
GTA 6 game.
Moving forward.
Obviously,
that's true.
Using it for RDR3 and GTA 7 and whatever other games they plan on making in the future. So this rumor might not be, or this leak, I should say, might not be, 100% accurate. Hell, I think we've seen a lot of these points in the past, so maybe this is just a rehash of an older leak. But I will say, just looking at some of the screenshots and trailer shots that Rockstar have shown, in this last batch of information, it does seem like water is going to be a major part of this game. And I do think we're going to be getting some very insanely well done water physics. So I think that's exciting. regardless of if this leak is true or fake. And for anyone that may have doubts and may think, having the most realistic water physics is crazy, they have beer bottle.
Bro, I was just talking about
bubbles going up.
Chat, wasn't I just talking about this? Wasn't I just talking about this? It's not just the water, it's the liquid in general in the game. Like the physics inside of the beer. But I was just talking about this in the same exact video where I was just literally. I'm telling y'all, it's not just people assuming it's just the ocean. So, it's deeper than that, bro. You gotta think outside of the box. It's within the box, but still outside of the box. Y'all gotta think, bro. Y'all gotta think. People like, oh, it's just the way the water flows. No, that's not what they're talking about.
A couple of other examples of just really, really small stuff like this having proper physics.
That's crazy. We've never seen that in a video game ever.
These bottles of proper water physics, then surely the actual bodies of water.
It's fucking crazy, bro. We've never seen that.
Physics as well. So again, I think it is pretty exciting, regardless of if this leak is true or not. What Rockstar is working on and what they've shown us. I mean, I can't wait to see more. But that is going to go ahead and do it for today's GTA 6 video. The water is going to be insane, more than likely. Thank you guys for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoy. Subscribe.
Oh, bro, I don't care, bro. It's nothing weird.
In the next one.
Nothing weird and personal shit. Hey, yo, Saints fan, thank you so much for the video, bro. This was a great video. This was a really great video. I'm glad you touched base with this because nobody really haven't, from my understanding. I like this. I think, is it a lot of money? Yeah, if it's true, yeah. But at the end of the day, this is an investment. This is something special, and it's not just what we think it is. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro, this is fire. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, if you're watching this video after it's uploaded, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Please turn on notifications so you get notified when I upload and stream. All right? I'm not out of here, but because I'm still streaming, but deuces if you're watching afterwards. Yo, forming matter down in the mental of substance. Balance corruption, chest be hurting. I'm sure that it's nothing. Different discussion, forming hope, but I'm coping for something. Testimony, testifying, beats with lines that I'm punching. Never clean for a nation, picking regime, still chasing dreams while I'm bracing, damaging screens that I'm facing fiends of the murder, pacing in sync, still waiting, taking these scenes and I break them, place them in schemes.